Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. As you can see from the boys, having a grand old time with Crone Hellebron here. We are indeed going to be playing another 2v2 Greenskins and Dark Elves versus Dwarfs and Skaven. That's some heresy if I've ever seen it, but nonetheless, it's happening. Let's go ahead and take a look at the army compositions. So the idea with myself and Black Iron, who is of course playing Greenskins, is that we're going to use the Crone to buff up the Greenskin infantry. I haven't brought the Crone sword because it's still broken, but we've brought pretty much everything else. So we've got the Amulet of Darkfire, giving her a total of 47% magic resistance, Fury of Cain, of course. We've also got the Gaze of Cain, that red mist effect. In terms of the rest of the army, front line of Savage Orc Biggins. We've got a second line of 8 Peaks Loonies, Warlords Boys, and a couple of Skulkers. I've got a third line here, it's just of Slaughter, Blades of the Blood Queen, Wurrzag here on foot, doing his dancing thing, Goblin Big Boss as well. I've got a Death Sorceress. She's carrying Purple Sun, Soul Blight, and Spirit Leech. Wurzag's got, let's see, his loadout here. Bonewood Staff and Squiggly Beast, of course. That Bonewood Staff going to be very good in a 2v2 situation. Brain Bursta, here we go. He's also got Wa, of course, and Effigy of De Git. In terms of the rest of the army, a couple of Dark Riders with shields here. We've got some Harpies over there in Vanguard. A couple more Dark Riders over here. Couple of Doomfire Warlocks, one of them is Slaanesha's Harvesters. Got another Doomfire Warlock here. There's the Moon Howlers way out in the corner, and I believe I've got everything. For the Skaven, they've got Lord Skrolk, we've got a Warlock Engineer, and a Plague Furnace. Hell Pit Abomination with some Skaven Slaves, a couple of Clan Rats, a couple more Clan Rats, whole bunch of Clan Rat Spears, Heavy Artillery Force, 2 Plague Claw Catapults, and a Warp Lightning Cannon. We've also got the Goblobber, front line of Longbeards with great weapons, a couple of Thunderers. Grombrindle is going to be leading the Dwarves, 2 Miners, one of them Ekron Miners. The Grumbling Guard, we've got Dragonback Slayers, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, you can see our opponents have deployed in quite this Helm's Deep formation here that we're going to have a tough time cracking. Thankfully, I've got some good Vanguard units. These Harpies are going to come down in here and at the very least maybe interrupt this artillery crew. It's doubtful since there's so many Clan Rat Spears around, but in general, we're just trying to do some disruption here as myself and Black Iron advance. We're going to skate this tiny little gap here with these Doomfire Warlocks and get in with a really nice rear charge on this Warp Lightning Cannon. Actually shut it down here. So, yeah, that's quite nice, although we do have to immediately retreat before those Dragonback Slayers and the Clan Rats and everything else catch up to us. But, yeah, I'm honestly not worried about Crone Hellebron taking too much fire from that Warp Lightning Cannon, of course, since she has very heavy magic resistance. But, yeah, we're just kind of getting a full surround here, bringing up a lot of our mobile units to threaten in on this side. Moonhowler's going to try and get in on this Plague Claw Catapult, but our Skaven foe intercepting quite nicely there. They're going to need to immediately pull back away. The Death Sorceress and Crone Hellebron in here going to be pushing forward a little bit aggressively, but Doombolt coming down. I was hoping to destroy one of those artillery pieces, but it actually did not. But here come the Doomfire Warlocks again, shooting the gap. Getting in here, taking down this Plague Claw Catapult crew momentarily. You can see the wall popping off map wide, so that charge bonus is going to go up significantly. And yeah, those Skaven Slaves in the front line there are going to be dealt with in quick order. We do need to take these guys down very quickly so that we're not sitting here taking too much skirmish fire. We drop a Soul Blight in here and come in with both Dark Riders for a bit of an alpha strike on these Longbeards with great weapons. Since their armor is sundered down to only 70, the Doomfire Warlocks will do quite a bit more damage. And then here come the Orc Boar Chariots as well, that I had failed to mention, that are going to be cutting through the back line here, doing their Boar Chariot thing. Man, I love those. I love the Boar Chariots. They're such a hilarious unit. Very good against dwarves. But yeah, Clan Rats taking some heavy fire there. Meanwhile, on the back line here, a lot of my mobile units are being dealt with by just the overwhelming swarm of rats. But yeah, Black Iron's forces pushing up pretty effectively here. Crone Hellebron's going to start her buffs going up in the center. There's just all kinds of effects going down. Rod of Corruption, here we go. Gaze of Cain, we've got, let's see here, Wither also going down. So yeah, these Savage Orcs definitely going to be juiced up quite a bit by that Gaze of Cain there. Also, Libra Bubonicus on Crone Hellebron. Not the best since she does have that heavy magic resistance, but will be pretty decent. You can see a lot of my mobile units being seen off at this point. We're trying to break through these Clan Rats here in the front just by charging them in the face with Dark Riders. Not working out too hot so far, but The Greenskin front line is pushing through pretty effectively. You can see them dueling it out here with the Skaven and the Dwarves, especially with all the armor sundering effects. These Savage Orc Biggins, oh man, taking some nasty fire there from the Ekron's Miners. So far, my Wizard hasn't been too active, but I see this huge Skaven blob back here, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta drop a Purple Sun right there. So there's Slayers back here, there's Clan Rats, and oh geez, look at that Purple Sun though. Just immediately just devastates all the units that were standing in that big clump right there, and still continuing to kind of hang around on top of this artillery piece. So that's quite beneficial in the back line. Wurrzag's been able to deal with the Plague Priest pretty effectively, but has taken a lot of damage in return. I had dispatched these Sisters of Slaughter, but it looks like they actually just changed their order. But yeah, the idea was to get the Sisters of Slaughter in on Lord Skrulk, since they'd be able to do a lot of damage to him. The Death Sorcerer is kind of fighting in the front line, not the best, but Crone Hellebron's taken a lot of damage at this point, probably going to be going down fairly soon, so we're going to drop another Gaze of Cain, I believe, here in just a moment. We had followed up that nice Purple Sun here with the rear charge from some of these regrouped mobile units, dropped a Soul Blight from the Slaanesha's Harvesters, and we're able to break a lot of these Clan Rats here and take off the artillery once and for all. So that's been quite favorable for us, but yeah, we dropped that final Gaze of Cain there, and now the Crone is probably going to get taken down here. I'm trying to bring in as much support as possible to shut down these Thunderers, because that's honestly what's doing the most damage to her at this point. So the Dark Riders and more trying to push through here. We drop a Soul Blight to sunder their armor. We're doing everything we can. Ooh, looks like a Warp Lightning coming down from my opponent. Might actually catch Crone Hellebron. Nope, not quite, but yeah, Hellebron's just barely alive at this point. We're starting to push through a little bit on the front line. You can see Sisters of Slaughter doing quite well. Ooh, Grombrindle actually getting pushed out of the way. We did put that Word of Pain on him as well. Grombrindle has no fear being popped, so it makes even the Skaven unbreakable. Unfortunately, those that had already routed are not going to be unbreakable, but that's a very nice use of that Grombrindle has no fear. To pair it with the Skaven, but you can see the Hell Pit Abomination in a very rough position, just completely surrounded by greenskins. We do get another Waaagh, which is going to give, of course, map-wide bonuses to all units. We've got Dark Riders in the back line chasing down routing rats, just making sure they don't come back. Balance power starting to tip more and more in our favor. Skrulk's taking a whole bunch of damage from the Goblin Big Boss. The Hell Pit Abomination is trying to stay alive, but looks like they're going to very aggressively go after Wurrzag at this point, but there's still so many Savage Orc Biggins. Savage Orc Biggins will do quite well against this Hell Pit Abomination. Likewise, we've still got the Death Sorceress online. Despite Crone Hellebron's demise, the Blades of the Blood Queen getting temporarily routed off there, but yeah, I'm really wishing I had another Purple Sun Disc drop right on top of this pocket right here. But unfortunately, we'll just have to settle for the Sisters of Slaughter holding out. Savage Orc Biggins dealing with these Thunderers up on the high ground. Meanwhile, Dark Riders with shields continuing to clean things up in the back line. And yeah, it's mostly just the leadership of our foes that's down at this point. The Hell Pit Abomination also goes down. We're just going to lose their terror-causing unit, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, looks like here we go, going to be dropped on that Gobbo Big Boss. Also going to catch those Sisters of Slaughter, putting them up to 94 melee attack. Fortunately, they are still going to rout off there. But yeah, we're just trying to clean things up out in the periphery. Ekron's Miners getting tangled up with the Slaanesha's Harvesters. Probably not the best for the Slaanesha's Harvesters, but hopefully they'll be able to do okay. At this point, I've got one more Spirit Leech in my pocket, so I figure, okay, let's get the Death Sorceress out here. Let's take down Lord Skrulk, because I have an okay-ish charge bonus of 30. I should be able to take him down in melee. We're going to drop the Spirit Leech to take down that Plague Furnace. So there goes the Spirit Leech. Death Sorceress is going to come in and finish off old Skrulky boy here. And yeah, might take a couple of charges, but we're definitely committed to doing so, because as soon as Lord Skrulk goes down, that'll be pretty much the end of the Skaven leadership. So he does indeed go down there. And with that, most of the Skaven are going to be wanting to rout. Even the dwarfs at this point, it's mostly just Grombrindle holding their leadership together. Most of the dwarf forces themselves are incredibly tattered. And yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit through this late game situation here as we just kind of clean things up. Grumbling Guard going to get hit with that Word of Pain in the back line. And the Slaanesha's Harvester is going to try and go after him, of course. The Grumbling Guard with their very heavy armor they're going to be pretty resilient against this. They'll probably actually rout off those Slaanesha's Harvesters, but they are taking some damage in return. And again, we're just trying to keep them tied down and separated from the rest of these Skaven and Dwarf units in this pocket here. The Rusty Heirs getting mixed up in melee here. They do actually do poison damage in melee, and they have reasonable melee stats. 29 melee defense is not too bad. So they can stand in here and fight a little bit against these Clan Rat Spears in the late game. It's not going to be amazing, but, you know, you do what you can, especially in a late game situation like this. But, yeah, at this point, all it's going to take is these Sisters of Slaughter to get a solid rear charge in here, which they just did. Going to be cutting through what remains of these Clan Rats. And with that, the army losses should go off. We're so close at this point. Yep, looks like army losses do go off for the Underground Alliance, I guess we'll call them. So very well played to our opponents. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. I know y'all quite enjoy those big epic 2v2s, and I'm a big fan as well. There's a lot of really cool synergy you can get, especially with the Greenskins. The Greenskins might be like the best 2v2 faction out there right now, just because that map-wide WA is useful for pretty much any faction, and just it synergizes so well with so many different things. In terms of my army, Crone Hellebron getting 117 kills herself. She did quite well while under the effect of that WA. She also got some Here We Go and more. 200 kills on that Death Sorceress. 2 of those being Lord Skrulk and the Plague Priest, but also a lot of them coming from that huge Purple Sun I was able to get in the back line. Sisters of Slaughter and Blades of Blood Queen did quite well. Dark Riders did okay. The Doomfire Warlocks actually did quite well, helping to break down that back line of our opponents. You can see the artillery for the Skaven really was not super effective. A lot of the Clan Rats just kind of got run over a little bit. That was a whole lot of Clan Rats. Holy cow. Really just relying on the Hell Pit to get some work done. Lord Skrulk able to get 70 kills himself, but the 2 Drain units really not being very effective. I definitely think that the nerf to the Drains, where they have to be in melee now, it was a pretty big nerf, and it's a nice change. Makes it a lot less the focus of the Skaven. In terms of Black Iron here, 93 kills on on Wurrzag himself, man. He was mixing it up in melee. Those Brain Bursters were going off constantly in the low armor Skaven. Really nice value there. Big Boss, 25 kills, helped deal with that Hell Pit Abomination, so that was quite useful. The Nasty Skulkers did pretty well. Orc Biggins, of course, just juicing it up in the front line, as would be expected against such high numbers of rats. Even the Savage Orc Air Boys doing quite well. Moon Howlers were able to get in the back line to disrupt a little bit, and I quite like the use of the Orc Boar Chariot there. Was very good against the Dwarves, who themselves held up okay in the front line. Wow, that's a lot of Longbeards with great weapons, but, you know, they did all right in the front line. The Dragonback Slayers, 95 kills. They did okay in holding the back line. There just wasn't quite enough between them and the Clan Rat Spears. I was able to get in some gaps and kind of take down different artillery pieces. Wasn't the best for them, but Grombrindle did okay. I personally like Hungrim a bit better, although that Grombrindle has no fear. I can definitely see how that would pair very well with the Skaven. You can get that one-time use map-wide Unbreakable. Unfortunately, I don't think they used it quite early enough, but had they used it at that point when all my mobile units charged into the back of a lot of Clan Rat Spears and stuff right after that Purple Sun, that probably would have been the best time to use it to try and keep all those Clan Rat Spears fighting my light cavalry. They probably could have been able to generate some good value still. But it's tough to say, you know, it's anyone's game at that point. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next time.